Well, greetings to you guys and Miss Blakemore's third grade class. I am sorry I can't be at our Brown McAllister School today to be with you, but we'll do the next best thing. We'll have a little video here and talk. I'm Mark Clemens. I'm the editor of the Independent Tribune. I'm also a sportscaster. I do Charlotte 49ers women's basketball, do some high school sports, also do some baseball and football for Davidson College, and today I'm going to be reading a book for you. Here I'll show this to you. I'm a little tricky with the camera here, so I may have to play with this a little bit. This is a book that's called Crown, An Ode to the Fresh Cut. Now, if you see on the outside, there's a number of awards this book has won. It's the Ezra Jack Keats Book Award. There's also a Caldecott Honor. There is another honor here that is the Newbery Honor, and down here an honor from the Coretta Scott King Award, and those are all very prestigious. I'll tell you a couple things about the people who wrote and who illustrated this particular book. I'll tell you a little bit more about the guy who illustrated it because there's a local connection. But Derrick Barnes he was born in Kansas City, Missouri. Derrick Barnes has written this. Derrick has lived for many years in New Orleans. He used to write greeting cards for Hallmark. I don't know if you've seen the Hallmark channel, and you've probably seen Hallmark cards. There used to be a lot of advertisements. It's a Hallmark when they'd open it up and they'd look at the back, but a very prestigious job he had there. He has since started writing a number of books, primarily children's books like this, and he has been very, very successful. This is probably his most successful book. Again, Crown, An Ode to the Fresh Cut. The other fellow that's involved with this one, and he is a local guy, Gordon C. James. Gordon C. James lives in Charlotte. He works at the Clearwater Studios. Now, the Clearwater Studios is on Kerr Street in Concord. If I were there, I would ask you to raise your hand and let me know if you know where Kerr Street is. But if Kerr Street goes off of Cabarrus Avenue, you go down that little dip, and as you're coming up on the hill, on the right-hand side, there's some old buildings that used to be a water treatment plant. That water treatment plant is turned into artist studios, and Gordon C. James works out of that Clearwater Studios. Now, Gordon has illustrated a number of books. He is also a painter and an artist. He's had his work displayed at the Mint Museum in Charlotte. One of the things I read about him, that he's kind of takes his work toward Impressionism. And you will see some Impressionism and some very expressive faces and some artisticness in some of these illustrations as we get into the book. But again, I wanted to share that with you. Hey, it's great. We've got an artist right here in our own town that was on the Drew Barrymore show not too long ago, talking about this very book that we're talking about. Also, there was another book they were talking about. I am every good thing. So that's a couple of things there. But let's get into this book, right? Why don't we? I was going to tell you, Gordon has got, his wife is named Ingrid. His kids are Astrid and Gabriel. And this book was inspired by Gabriel and the trip to the barbershop. And they've got a dog named Rascal. So that's Gordon C. James, the man who illustrated this book. Okay, let's dig into it. Take me a minute to find the first page as we get to it. Crown, An Ode to Fresh Cut. And you see there's Derrick Barnes' name, and there is illustrated by Gordon C. James. Now here's the dedication page. They like to put these in here to the people who inspire them. Derrick Barnes does this one too. Silas Nathaniel, a.k.a. Nestle Snipes. I'm guessing that he likes chocolate, maybe. Nestle, a little takeoff on Wesley Snipes, maybe, if some of you know the actor. But Nestle Snipes is his son's nickname. Hashtag Barnes Brothers Forever. Or perhaps that is his brother. And Gordon James' dedication is to my son Gabriel and his barber, Mr. Reggie. Okay, let's get to the first page here. I'll show you the page here, and then we'll read what it says. When it's your turn in the chair, you stand at attention and forget about who you were when you walked through the door. Smiling face there. He looks like he's happy to get his hair cut, doesn't he? You came in as a lump of clay, a blank canvas, a slab of marble, but when my man is done with you, they'll want to post you up in a museum. That's my word. You see, that's this page right here. Next page we'll go. He'll drape you like royalty with that cape to keep the fine hairs off your neck and your princely robes. It's amazing what a tight fade, high, low, bald does for your confidence. Dark Caesar. See, here's the barber starting to work, getting that cape. If any of you have been to the barbershop for the hair, you know, you've had that cape pulled up around you. Next page. Who knows? You might just smash that geography exam tomorrow and rearrange the entire principal's honor roll. A fresh cut does something to your brain, right? And it hooks up your intellectual. Look at those medals those ribbons that he won. At least he thinks he's going to win it, doesn't he? You're a star, a brilliant, blazing star. Not the kind that you'll find on a sidewalk in Hollywood. Nope. They're going to have you wear shades when you look up to catch your shine. Shining star, right? He'll lean back in the chair, dab that cool shaving cream on your forehead, and then craft a flawless line with that razor. Slow, steady, surgical. It frames your swagger. The cute girl in the class across the way won't be able to keep her pretty eyes off of you. Her friends will giggle and whisper, "Girl, he's so fine." Yeah, that's what they'll say. That's right here. Oh, let's see what's coming up next. The whole school will be seasick from the rows and rows of ripples. You'll have more waves on your head than the Atlantic Ocean. Shout out to my do-rag and patience. Look at there. Hey, like that, got that rag tied up. He's ready to go, isn't he? All red, white, and blue. There's a dude to the left of you with a faux hawk. Deep part, skin fade. He looks presidential. Maybe he's the CEO of a tech company that manufactures cool. He's a boss. That's how important he looks. That's the one we're talking about right here. Dude to the right looks majestic. There are thousands of black angels waiting to guide and protect him as soon as he steps out that front door. That's how important he looks. There's a dude standing in the mirror that can't get over the masterful designs crafted on the side of his dome. Wherever he goes, people will ask you for his autograph. He looks that fresh. He looks like he owns a few acres of land on Saturn. Now, maybe there's a river named after him on Mars. He looks that important. Look at the design he's got inside of his head there. Nice job there, isn't it? Oh, here's the other page. See, looking on the other side. There are two dudes, one with locks, the other with cornrows, and a lady with a butterscotch complexion, and all they want is a shape-up, tapered sides, a trim, and a crisp but subtle line. And sometimes in life, that's all you ever need, a crisp but subtle line. See, look at the different hairstyles. Hey, like that. Can you tell which one of them's the dreads? And, of course, the corn, the rose. And she's got a nice, shaped it up, didn't he? All right, let's see what's coming up next. When your barber is done, you'll feel like $1 million and some change. Now, when his fingertips hit you with that green apple that apple green alcohol or that witch hazel, it'll sting, but it's not like a scorpion or a hornet. It's more like an electric stamp of approval. And when you see the cut yourself in that handheld mirror, you'll smile a really big smile. That's the you that you love the most. That's the you that wins everything. That's the gold medal in you. Look in the mirror. See, there's when they're putting the alcohol on. I've been there. Get that little razor, cut the back of your hair and just trim it up around. It stings a little bit. But it doesn't. It kind of gives you a little bit of energy. Every person in the shop will rise to their feet and give you a round of applause for being so fly. Not really, but they'll look like they want to. You can see it in their eyes. See, look at everybody there. Somebody with a football jersey on, and there you are right in the middle of all those people. It's the look your English teacher gives you when she hands you that last test with a bright red 97 slapped on it. It's how your mother looks at you before she calls you beautiful. Flowers are beautiful. Sunrises are beautiful. Being viewed in your mother's eyes as someone that matters, now that's beautiful. And you'll take it. You don't mind that at all. Look at there with the big horn. How many of you have got 97s? How many of you got 100? I'm sure you know how proud your teacher is when you do that. Finally, he'll remove the cape, then wipe you down with a brush made with a golden horsetail. I didn't know that. See, here you go. He's getting ready to get out of that chair. You see the little brush right here? You'll put the money in his hand, and without even expecting change back, tip that man. Tip that man. It is worth it. It always is. See, there we get to see the barber and the young man paying. Oh, let's see. This is going to be a different page. Let's have to angle it up a different. You know why? Because you leave out of the shop every single time feeling the exact same way. Magnificent, flawless, like royalty. Hello, world. Look at there. Let's see. Got to go the other direction here. I thought. Okay, then we've got a note on the back of here. Let me read this note to you. This comes from Derrick Barnes, who wrote this book. Mr. Tony was my barber in the 6th grade. To get to his chair, I rode the Prospect South Metro bus to the 63rd Street every Thursday. The day of the week, my mother would leave $8 on the kitchen table so that I could get my hair cut. Now, walking out of that shop, I never felt like the same kid that went in. I couldn't wait for Friday morning so that Camilla Swift, my girlfriend, could see how perfect my box was shaped up. I knew she'd bug out about the 2 parts on the right side of my head, which in my mind made me look like Big Daddy Kane. Now, there was no way she'd resist my rudder straight hairline, a precise frame for my smiling brown 11-year-old face. Now, that fresh cut made you more handsome. It made you smarter, more visible, more aware of every great thing that can happen to you in the world. With this offering, I wanted to capture that moment back when black and brown boys all over America went to visit the shop and hop out of that chair filled with a higher self-esteem, with self-pride, with confidence, and with overall elevated view of who they are. Now, the fresh cuts, that's where it all begins. It's how we develop swagger. And when we begin to take care of how we present ourselves to the world, it's also a time when most of us become privy to the conversations and companies of hard-working black men from all walks of life. We learn to mimic their tone, inflection, sense of humor, and verbal combative skills when discussing politics, women, sports, our community, and our future. And really, other than the church, the experience of getting a haircut is pretty much the only place in the black community where a black boy is tended to, treated like royalty. Crown, An Ode to the Fresh Cut, which we just read, focuses on the humanity, the beautiful, raw, smart, perceptive, assured humanity of black boys, sons, brothers, nephews, and grandsons, how they see themselves when they highly approve of the reflections in the mirror. Deep down inside, they wish that everyone could see what they see, a real life, breathing, compassionate, thoughtful, brilliant, limitless, and that matters. That desperately matters, and we've always mattered. That's the message from Derrick Brown. But again, this has been Crown, An Ode to the Fresh Cut by Derrick Barnes and illustrated by Gordon C. James. I'm Mark Clemens from the Independent Tribune. Thank you for letting me join in with you. And I just want to say this. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for letting me be with you. And I hope that you learned so many things today and in your class. And again, thank you for letting me be with you.